Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we're going to discuss the question of release, stable or current for FreeBSD and which one to use. Before we get into that, I just want to talk about, I now have a Discord server, link in the description. Jump in and say hello to people that have jumped in also. Hopefully it will become a nice big community and we can all jump in and have conversations and ask questions and get help and that kind of stuff. That would be great. That's what I envisage. Thank you to GaryH for helping me set that up. It was really his idea. So thank you. Thank you for helping me with that. I really appreciate that. Anyway, Discord, link in the description. On with the video. So let's talk about the release version first. This is the main release that's released on the FreeBSD website. So you'll see at the moment we've got a version of 13.1-release, and that is your starting point. That's the one that you would download. This one is updated every now and then. It will get all the security fixes, the bug fixes, and every now and then it will get a couple of new features. Not often, now and then. Moving on from the release, because there's not really much to say about it. It's the production ready version of FreeBSD that you should probably start off using first. So then you've got stable. Stable isn't what it sounds like. It's the development branch from which all the major releases come from. So your release, that's your major release. Changes go into this release much slower. And the general assumption is that they've first been tested in FreeBSD current. Not always the case, but most of the time the features that go into the stable come from current, and we'll get to current in a minute. Should have probably done this in the other way, really, to be honest. Never mind. Moving along. Stable is, like I said, not how it sounds. It's not the stable version of FreeBSD. Not saying that it's not stable, because it is. However, there is a possibility of breakages with stable. I've been using stable in my production environment for, I don't know, it must be at least 10 years and never crashed. Never crashed on me. To be honest, I don't think I've ever had a FreeBSD crash at all. It's always been other things that have broken my installs, like usually my fault. But that's the learning curve. So there you go. There's your stable. It gets features. It gets them at a much slower pace than current, and we'll get into current in a minute. But all the new features go into current. So current, this is your bleeding edge. This is the one where every new feature goes in for testing. Whether it's going to break it or not, it will go in there. And then it's fixed if needs be, and they move on from there. So literally any new version of SSH or OpenZFS, that all goes in there first. They test it, they iron out bugs, and then it pilfers down to stable. And then from stable, they cut the release and release it as a release point. I'm hoping this is clearer than it sounds in my head, because at the moment I'm confusing myself. And I apologize for that. It's not an easy topic to talk about. That said, there are benefits to running each one. And what you'll find is that you'll have great stability if you use the release, which is, good enough for most people. Perfect for production because you get the rock solid stability that you're looking for. You get all the features of the release point, and you know what you're getting because it's all in the release note. If you want something that's a little bit more forthcoming with feature sets, go with stable. What I do doesn't mean that it's safe. It does mean that you may need to debug. I haven't had to do that in, a good 10 years. So maybe that's just me having been lucky. I don't know. But like I said, I've not had a crash. And then there's current, and this is for people that want to be living on the bleeding edge. But it also means you will probably have to do some debugging and asking for support. If you're okay with that, try it. Why not try it? I'm not sure I would suggest using it in production, because like I said, it is more likely to break, and downtime in this day and age means money. it's going to cost you. So I'm not sure I would run it. I certainly wouldn't run it on my production environment, which is a mail server, which needs to be up as high as possible. I need as much uptime as possible. So that's where we stand. Current doesn't mean it's going to crash, doesn't mean that it's going to be buggy or unstable. It means it could be. And to give you an idea, as far as I'm aware, Netflix runs current. Take of that what you will. If it's good enough for Netflix, surely it's good enough for the rest of us. I'm not brave enough, but hey, some of you out there might be. But you will get the latest and greatest feature set. You know, you'll get the latest SSL, you'll get the latest SSH, you'll get the latest OpenZFS, the latest everything. You'll get as many bug fixes as possible, but it also means that you might find vulnerabilities in there that you wouldn't find in the release or the stable. All these things have to be weighed up. Like I said, I'm not a brave enough man to do it. You may be. So there you go. That's my explanation of the release, stable and current, and it's a bit of a pickle. No two ways of saying it. It is a bit of a mess. That's not fair. It's not a mess. It's been this way for many, many years, and I expect it to carry on this way. It looks a mess to the outside world, but actually it's really simple. Latest and greatest goes into current, the stable stuff from current goes into stable, and the stuff deemed stable enough to be a release goes into release. It's really that simple. It's just to the outside world, it seems a bit, ugh, which one do you choose? Hopefully, I haven't rambled on too much and you will get an idea of which version of FreeBSD to use. Like I said, slightly confusing topic. I think I've confused myself and I'm going to go and demigrainify myself now. Hope you find this useful. Like I said, very strange topic to cover, but I've been asked a couple of times and I thought I'd just make a quick video and let you know my thoughts on how this whole thing looks. To me, I don't think I'd be looking to use current. I don't want to be dealing with having to do any debugging. I use stable because it sounds good more than anything else. I don't think there's a reason why I ever use stable. I just like the sound of stable. So in the back of my head, I know that it doesn't mean that it's the stable version of FreeBSD. It doesn't work that way, as I've just explained. But that's how I use it. So I'm going to stop rambling. Hopefully you find this useful. If you do, please give it a thumbs up and pop into the Discord server and have a chat with whoever's there. Don't forget to subscribe, click the notification bell. That will let you know of new videos being released, as long as you've got all the notifications turned on. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care.